In this video, we're going to make the axle peg, and the first thing we need to do is start a new standard part file. So you can just either double click on it or select this and then click on create. Either one will work. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do for this is now create a 2D sketch, and this one I'm going to do on the XY plane. Right. So if we look at our dimensions here, we can see that if we want to do the height of it, going right here, we need to have it 1 inch. So this you'll learn about how to read later, but this is 1/4 inch screw, and it's 1 inch long for the thread. So for right here, we also need to add in this right here for the height. So that'd be 1 inch, 0.125. Alright, so we just add a line. Make sure you start from the origin and you can have it go straight up. And you could do this one of two ways. You could either type in the dimension and hit enter on the keyboard, or you can place the dimension, or place the line first and then click on the dimension tool. Click on the dimension, click off to the side, and then type in your dimension. Either one would work. And then now that it's off the screen, to make sure you can see everything, if you press home on the keyboard, it zooms in or sometimes zooms out to show you your entire object that you're working on. Alright, so the next line that we're going to do is a line off to the side on the bottom right here. And because this is 1/4 inch in diameter, we need to do half of that. So we can add in our line. And either you know this off the top of your head, or you can actually put this in as a small equation. Either one will work. And then, like I said before, the thread part is 1 inch. And I'm going to add a line right here. And I don't remember the dimension for that, so we got to go back to our object. And we can see that the diameter for where that line is right here. It's right here, and we need half of that. So what we need is 0.211, going from our line that would be in the center to the edge of that one. So 0.211. Alright. Our next line that we can do is one that's going off of this dot right here, off to the side, and the circle that we're going to be using is right here, so we need half of that diameter. So that one would be 0.125. And we have one more straight line that we need to do. That is this little piece right here. So here is our dimension. So it's 0.031. And I don't think I actually clicked on it. Nope. Okay, so 0.031. The next thing that we need to do is add in our surface radius, so that will be a radius that goes right here. And we can put that in as an arc to add in this surface. So I'm just going to use a 3-point arc. You can click on one side, click on the other side, and then just click here. And our surface radius for this is 0.236. Okay. So here we have our shape. So we can finish our sketch. Use revolve. Use revolve, and if we click on our center right here, it would spin around automatic, or it would, if we actually turned it into a center line, it would spin around automatically, but we have to click on it. So actually, I'll go back and show you what happens if we have it as a center line. So if you click on this line right here, that would be our center. Click on this button right here. This is our center line. So it changes your normal line to a center line. When you finish your sketch and click revolve, it automatically selects that to be your center because it knows it's a center line and you only have one on that sketch, so it knows what to revolve around. Then you can just click OK. Our next step that we can do is we'll add in this hex socket to the top. So we start a 2D sketch on the top of our axle peg. And for this one, if you use one of the old programs, it just showed up automatically for polygon, but now you have to click on the drop down for rectangle, or depending on what you've been doing, it might show a different one of these. Click on polygon. We want a 6-sided polygon, which is the default. I want to start in the center, and then try to make sure you line it up just on the side. It'll just make it a lot easier to dimension later. And for here, it's 5/32 across the flats. So across the flats is you click the top line, click the bottom line, and that would be across the flats. Oh. Okay. So now we can finish, and we need to extrude our object. We want it to go in, and we want the dimension to be 0.111 inches. And we want to make sure it's cut. Sometimes it'll stay as joined, but sometimes it'll switch. So make sure it's cutting into your object. The next thing we can do is okay. So again, for the tools being underneath other tools, so fillet and chamfer, they're in the same spot. So if you need to find chamfer, that's where it's located. So we're going to do chamfer from the edge. So we're going to click on this bottom edge right here. And our dimension for that, we need to actually select a different one. So we want the distance and angle. So let's actually tip this so we can see what's going on. So our angle, 45, all right, that's already set. And our distance, we want as 0.03, so 0.03. So we need to click on the face right here, and then our edge, and that adds in our chamfer. The last thing we need to do to our axle peg is add in the thread, which is underneath the hole tool. So this one will only select something that's kind of like a cylinder in shape. So if we try to put it here, it won't actually do anything. Okay. So click, and we're going to look at the specifications just to make sure it's set up the way we want it to be. So we want it to be a 1/4 inch. Okay, so 1/4 inch, 20 UNC, and it's 1 inch in length because we already set it that way. Right hand, because it doesn't have a special notation for left hand on here. And then, okay. So right here we have our axle peg.